One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1068, A Genius's Dream. One Piece is fucking back, everybody.
Alternate title: Brazilian boys don't care about science.
Well, that's not technically a lie in context, but we'll get.
Well, there's one Brazilian boy that doesn't care.
Yeah. Anyway, this is let's get the chapter started. We do have like a little bit of a panel update. It's not a significant one, as we've seen. We got a new update from the whole Caesar Clown and Vince Smoke family reunion. It seems that they're that Judge and Caesar Clown are beefing and remembering the days of the scientist group that they belonged to, called Mads, which was led by Vegapunk, as we see in the little like remembrance bubble, the little flashback bubble they have. I think this was known information already, as like we know that Caesar Clown worked with Vegapunk on Punk Hazard. And I think Judge made a mention of working with Vegapunk in the past as well. So yeah, pretty cool.
It was a nice reminder for me.
Yeah, not a crazy, it is a good reminder. It serves as that. I mean, there's a lot of information you have to remember with One Piece, so it's not often that Oda will come out and remind you. So let's get into the chapter proper. Last we left off, the CP0, made up of Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy, have arrived on Egghead, seemingly to return the Seraphim that they have, the Seraphim of Bartholomew Kuma that they've had. But really they're there to kill Vegapunk and all the other Vegapunks as well. So yeah, that we're getting into that. The Vegapunks seem to be onto this. And they pretty much they start this chapter off by denying access to Egghead to the CP0. They basically are, I think, number 4, Pythagoras. He basically tells them, is like, hey, thank you for returning our Seraphim. Unit S Bear, that's the name of this, of the Kuma Seraphim. S Bear is capable of returning to the island on his own. Just give him the order to return and your mission will be complete. Your escort is appreciated. And Lucci's just like, they know. They know.
They know.
And I know they know.
And I know, they know.
Oh shit! Josh just fell. Olympus has fallen.
I hurt.
Damn, I thought we were gonna get through an episode without your phone falling.
No, that was crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Lucci knows that they know. Kaku is just screaming his head off. I don't remember Kaku being this.
Oh, there he goes again.
Damn, dude.
There he goes again. Pick him up.
Come on, man. Well,
somebody help our boy.
Anyway, I don't remember Kaku being this fucking boisterous. I thought he was kind of more of a muted kind of character. Like, well, at least before he got his giraffe.
Yeah, once you become a giraffe, I feel like you lose all right of becoming serious.
Yeah, I think he's more like out there because he's mad he's a giraffe for the rest of his life. Which understandable.
I think he just accepted who he is.
Yeah.
A giraffe.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. It's more that he's accepted it.
Hey, he's always accepted it. Jabra tried to like roast him for it. He's like, I love giraffes. This is the greatest. I love being a giraffe. You think you're hurting me? Right? Yeah, that's my favorite thing in the CP9 arc. Is he's like, I fucking love giraffes. It's a great thing that I got these powers. There's a little self-awareness from Oda. Creatures. Yeah, it's a little self-awareness from Oda that he knows that he gives his people like shitty powers sometimes.
Yeah, that was some self-awareness.
Yeah, but anyway, Lucci picks up the phone and responds to the Vegapunks, asking about the Egghead disappearances. And apparently, every Cypher Pole group that ventures out to Egghead goes missing. So far, Cypher Poles 5, 7, and 8 have just vanished after visiting Egghead. The Vegapunks seem to deny it in their own little ways. Pythagoras plays dumb. I'm assuming. I think they know what happened, and they seem to be responsible. Lilith gets very defensive. So yeah, they're basically like, at any rate, you must leave. And Lucci's like, I bet, and he hangs up. And all the other CP0 members ask, what now? And Lucci says, like, prepare to leave the ship behind. We'll use Seraphim S-Bear's power to fly onto the island. The moment that we show any aggression, the sea beast will devour our ship. So they plan on attacking Egghead. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Grand Line to the Kamabaka Kingdom, where Kuma has just run off, just ripping off all of, I guess, the machinery that was repairing him and keeping him stable. And he activates his pawpaw fruit powers and disappears, assumingly to Egghead, but we'll get into that later. So meanwhile, we cut back to the scrap heap where Luffy, Jinbei, Chopper, and Jewelry Bonnie are with Vegapunk. And last we left off in this section of the island, Vegapunk has requested that Luffy take him off of Egghead and take him with him wherever he goes. Luffy asks why, and the reason is, in so many words, he's been squeezing money from the government for as long as he possibly could, so he can continue experimenting and trying to get closer and closer to discovering an energy source that will kind of be unlimited and give people a reason to stop these wars for energy. Because I guess it's a parallel to the real world. We're all fighting for resources in this world, and Vegapunk's ultimate dream is to end at least that fight for resources by tapping into this ancient energy that once powered the giant robot that is standing right before them. Unfortunately, the closer and closer he got to discovering that same energy, the more he drew the eye of the government, and he's realizing that he's learning a little bit too much. So he knows the government doesn't play that shit and is going to eliminate him. So he's asking Luffy to get him off the island for that reason. And right on cue, the CP0 start causing fucking problems on Egghead. The other Vegapunks around are basically watching as the sea beasts tear apart the CP0 ship and discover that Lucci is on the island. I love that Nami is just like, ooh, I hate him. Go away, Rob Lucci.
Yeah, they all feel away about Cypher Pole.
Oh, yeah, they have some beef, if you remember correctly. Shaka gives the order to evacuate the researchers and the workers and to send Atlas back to the lab and to mobilize the Seraphims S-Snake, S-Hawk, and S-Shark. Jinbei, Hawkeye, and Boa Hancock, respectively, they're Seraphims.
Oh.
And one interesting thing that I pulled from this is that he asked them to put Sentomaru in charge of them, which...
What does that mean?
Is interesting. I mean, we haven't seen Sentomaru in a long time, but Sentomaru is also a Navy guy, so I wonder what.
Did Luffy beat him up?
No.
They need to fight again.
He probably could now.
Sentomaru is the best defensive character in the series, right? Like, that's his thing.
Well, we'll see. Luffy's learned a lot.
No, that was his thing.
Yeah,
like during that time.
He beat Luffy 1v1.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily his claim to fame, but he is nice with.
I thought he was called the world's strongest defense.
Oh, he could be. I'm misremembering then.
That's what Oda said.
Yeah, you look it up. Huh?
That's what Oda said.
That's true. In any case, Sentomaru might be on this island. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, Vegapunk asks again, if I pack up my belongings, may I Rayquaza a trip out to sea with you? And Jinbei's like, you know that your disappearance would be an international scandal. And Luffy's like, yeah, your head looks funny. Sure. For that reason. Oh, what were you saying, Brian?
So Sentomaru himself says that he's the world's strongest defense. That's what
It wasn't
Senamaru
Oda's
says.
words.
Well, self-proclaimed. I mean, in any case, Luffy couldn't even touch him, so there's something to that. In any case, yep. So Vegapunk's going along with the Straw Hats. Luffy agrees for his usual Luffy reasoning. He's like, sure, why not? Your head looks funny. I want you around. And Vegapunk asks Luffy to take Bonnie up to the Labo phase, and he'll meet him there. And it turns out this Vegapunk has been a hologram the entire time. He disappears, just like the other holograms have, and he shocks Luffy and Chopper in doing so. In the meantime, we cut back to the not the Labo phase. This is the lower level of the Vegapunk of the Egghead Island, where the holograms are. One of the holograms attacks Kaku, but of course it's a hologram, so it doesn't really work. Stussy is very late.
The henchmen are so scared.
Yeah, they're like, ah!
See this guy on the bottom? Yeah,
shit.
I'm scared too.
Yeah. The bullets do nothing, and then Kaku like shoots off a Tempest kick, and then Stussy now mentions that won't work. It's just a hologram. He's like, mention that first. And Lucci mentions that like, oh, you seem to know a lot about this place, Stussy. He's like, of course. I mean, I haven't been here in ages. Kaku uses his skywalk to go jump up, double jump all his way to the top of the Labo phase. And Stussy, as he's doing that, Stussy is explaining that there are these two lines that are running across the clouds. And as Kaku passes by them, she explains that if you cross those lines, it activates a laser beam, as Kaku is smacked right in the face with a fucking laser beam.
Full beam of light.
Yeah, something
Which
like
he
that.
tanks, by the way.
Was she what? Oh,
Which
yeah, he does tank
by
it.
the way.
Yeah. At that point, that's when Atlas comes out and it's like, who said you were allowed to be more violent than me on Egghead? And Stussy explains that is one of the Vegapunks. Shaka is like, no, stop, you can't handle them. And I guess Atlas charges up a ultra mighty punch, but that's when Lucci cheetahs up and uses his Six King pistol to basically blow up Atlas's face. Very sad.
Yeah.
And she falls to the ground. She's still alive, but her face is just blown up. And at that very moment, the chapter ends with Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei carrying Jewelry Bonnie, just crossing the path that Lucci is on. And Lucci peeps. He's like, Straw Hat. He's like, Pigeon Guy. And that's where the chapter ends.
Oh, the disrespect. Not even fucking Cougar.
Not even
Man.
Cheetah Man.
Jaguar dude.
Yeah, nothing. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1068?
Wow, they made Lucci look threatening again.
Oh yeah, he never did.
Pulled up on Atlas.
He never did.
No, I thought he was soft.
Oh,
because he lost back then, and it's been what, 2.5 years?
Yeah, Josh is on a real "What have you done for me lately" vibe.
Bro, he lost already. He's old news.
He is old news, but he's been training.
Has he been training?
He's on the CP0, which is higher than his position before. He's got to be stronger.
But so is Kaku, bro. Come on, man. He just got sniped with a laser.
Well, Zoro moves up with Luffy. You know what I mean?
That's
Kaku's
true.
his Zoro.
I'm being negative. I'm sure they have gotten stronger. They're not ready. They're not ready though. You know that.
No, that's a fair point.
CP0 is not ready for the Straw Hats.
I mean,
we discussed this before, right? That the strategy is probably going to be to destroy the brain. And
now I
avoid
think
the
about
Straw
it,
Hats.
Lucci did bitch Akainu.
He what?
Did he?
He definitely bitched Akainu.
What do you mean?
He sunned him. He literally sat down with he sat down with Akainu and was like, "Don't tell me what to do, stupid little bitch."
When did he do that?
Akainu just had to sit there and take it.
When did he do that? I don't remember that.
You don't remember when he sat down with Akainu when he was talking to Akainu?
Oh, because he takes orders directly from the Celestial.
Oh, yeah.
Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, you know, when you have like the literal people you absolutely cannot kill on your side, I'd be saying some
Yeah,
reckless.
he's being pretentious.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Lucci's
but Akainu also gets answers from them, so
yeah, but you know, he can't like retaliate it anyway. These guys like are almost like personal CIA for the Celestial Dragons.
yeah, so they have to be pretty damn strong, don't they?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Or, you know, Luffy solos him pretty fast. Lots of change for Luffy.
Which would be very anticlimactic.
You know, at this point, it's fine.
Take the easy clap.
I think it would be super interesting if, as soon as the next chapter starts, Lucci's like, "All right, let's dip."
All right, let's get out of here. That's Nika,
I know
the sun
this is
god.
totally random, but remember Green Bull pulling up to Wano and sapping the life force out of all
Yeah.
the ninja guy. It's like, are you okay? He wasn't.
He was not.
Anyway,
okay.
I'll be honest. I have a bunch of thoughts for this chapter. I'm interested in them fighting. That's what I want to see. I want to see Luffy just beat the brakes off of Lucci, and I want to see this female character be way stronger than the rest of CP0 because we don't know who she is and she's mysterious. You know how it goes, guys.
Yeah.
No, I've been at this longer.
All right, Brian, what did you think?
I thought this was an interesting chapter. You know, I think it was so hyped to see Lucci and Luffy kind of run into each other, and Luffy in typical Luffy fashion, where after having Vegapunk disappear, he's like super hyped to go up there and find him just to run into Lucci. This is a pretty fucking badass encounter, and I'm really interested to see what Sendamaru is up to nowadays. Like, I wonder how much stronger he can get, because he is the poster child of armament hockey at this point, right? Like, since Virgo's gone, saying who else is an extremely prominent like defensive character?
Virgo?
Yeah, and he's dead. So
Yeah,
it's
dead.
only Sendamaru. So he is carrying the entire weight of armored hockey on his back.
Yeah. There's gotta be somebody else.
Huh?
I guess that was Kaido. Kaido was an armament hockey guy. And also
No,
Kings.
Kaido
He was
just
also
had
Conquerors,
naturally thick skin.
but
Kaido was just naturally
Everyone
thick skin.
uses armament. They all do.
Yeah,
though.
but full body shit, like everybody who does like a
Pika?
full body hockey gets their asses whooped.
yeah.
Was that Jaguar's like was that CPO's thing? Like that he had a full
No,
full body hockey?
Lucci never
Or
had
it was
hockey.
just introducing it.
Lucci never had hockey when he fought Luffy.
He had the fucking
Wow.
what's it called?
The finger pointed.
Yeah, the
thing?
finger
No,
gun.
there's a name.
Six
there's a name
powers.
for those.
The 6 powers. I'm pretty sure it's the 6 powers, but you can double check me on that.
Is this pistol move he used? The 6 King pistol, is that something he used before?
Yeah, he used it on Luffy.
It's something that it's one of the abilities for those guys.
That he failed to beat Luffy with?
He put him on the ground and before Usopp came in and gave him his like pep talk. Luffy was on dire straits.
Oh, maybe I remember this differently.
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, Brian, besides that?
No, I'm really excited to. Oh, I think it's called Rokushiki.
Yeah, 6 powers. It like I'm remembering it from like the English translation, but Rokushiki I think is 6 powers. Roku is 6. I know that much from Duolingo. But in any case,
Yeah, that was a pretty good chapter. You know, it was fun to see Luffy being Luffy. This was like one of the most Luffy things that he could do.
Yeah,
this entire chapter, and that's why I like him so much, is because he's like such a fucking nerd. Like, he doesn't pay attention to anything. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. He just happens to be in situations that are beneficial to good people all the time.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, this chapter was really cool. It was a lot of setup for, you know, the conflict that we're about to get into. There are a couple things. I'm wondering about Sentomaru and just how kind of loyal he is to the government because he is in the science division. He really was like helping Vegapunk
Oh,
and stuff. He worked for him for a while. I remember that much. Um, but yeah, I wonder if he is more on Vegapunk's side than the world government at times. Like he's on the same timing as Vegapunk in terms of I work with the government, but when push comes to shove, it's me. You know, I'm choosing me.
oh,
So
that's why Sentomaru was with Kuma in the first place because he was linked to the science division.
yeah, he was he worked with Vegapunk and whatnot. So I think that's interesting to see where Sentomaru's allegiances really lie. Especially since like Kizaru's his uncle or something. He calls him uncle. So I'm
Uncle Kizo.
yeah, Uncle Kizo. Yeah.
Also, I forgot Atlas got fucking murked.
Oh, bodied.
I forgot that Atlas got fucking murked.
Yeah.
And is she supposed to be one of the strongest ones?
I'll say this. I think that these Vegapunk robots are equipped with some fighting capability, but that's not their focus. Like I think they pretty much only exist so that Vegapunk can like divide his time basically or like his resources, his mental capacity. And he has like a bunch of weapons and these traps around the island to compensate for the fact. But yeah, I don't think these guys are made to be very strong for whatever reason, or whether he couldn't do it or he wanted them to serve a specific purpose and didn't really expect them to have this problem. uh, like I don't think he ever imagined that he'd be up against CP0 specifically at this
One
very
more
time.
thing.
Go for it.
The whole thing with Kuma. I'm a little interested to see what ends up happening with that because he's gonna end up there and he's probably gonna encounter Esper, right? So I wonder if it's possible for Vegapunk to transfer Kuma's like consciousness into Esper.
That's a good question.
Because that could be what Vegapunk is kind of heading to, like going to do. Because there's a lot of emphasis on Bonnie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is also kind of remorseful for what he did to Kuma. I don't know if that has been mentioned or not, but
yeah,
that could be the case. And so this could be because he made Kuma not human anymore, right? So he could have had a backup for Kuma that, if the chance given, could bring him back in Esper, probably. So I mean, there's a chance that Kuma comes back and even stronger.
Yeah, it's also a possibility that he could just awaken Kuma's personality within the PX model that was with the revolutionaries, because that is his real body.
Yeah, but his body is so fucked up.
Hey,
but he is if he is going to Egghead, that wouldn't be a problem though.
Yeah, because they would fix him if he comes back. I think I guess like I'll continue in with my thoughts and say what I think about that. But I think what's gonna happen is Kuma's gonna come in and fight Lucci or like boop him away. That would be pretty fire if he just came in and was like, "Get out of here."
Right now, you go on a 2-year training arc
again.
But you're not fucking ready yet.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I think he's definitely going to protect Egghead at some capacity. But yeah, it is good to see Lucci again. It is funny, you forget that like Lucci was like the first person to really push Luffy to the edge since Crocodile.
Crocodile?
Because
No, what about Eneru?
Eneru didn't like.
Eneru didn't really do shit to Luffy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
If you really think about it, Eneru was probably one of Luffy's weakest opponents. If you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, Eneru did things to prolong the fight and like keep Luffy from fighting him. Like he played keep away a lot, but all of Luffy's attacks were pretty deadly to Eneru. He had very little constitution or fucking durability because of how little he's been hit. So every time Luffy hit him, it was devastating.
That being said, anybody else but Luffy against Eneru, and it's a tough fight.
Yeah, I think Oda has said like Eneru is among one of the stronger people in the One Piece verse. But Luffy is just like his natural enemy. So there was no way.
Natural enemy of the gods. Will of
Freedom
Will of
and rubber.
D. Yeah. Yeah, I think Skypiea is way more important than we know. Like that shit's all gonna come back and we're all gonna feel like fuck. We should have paid more attention.
Toland the liar.
But anyway, I think I had one more thing. Oh yeah, the Lucci thing. Yeah. If they do fight, I do expect it to be a little bit of a fight, seeing as how much of a problem Lucci was for Luffy before. And they're both like bumped up and stronger now. I don't think Luffy would win. Oh no, Lucci would win, but he would do stuff. He would beat him up a little bit. There's one more thing. I heard this from somebody on TikTok. I wish I remember their username, but like somebody talked about how One Piece, like fans tend to kind of like get kind of like one track minded into putting this guy is above this guy power wise. And there's no way they would win. But the point, like a lot of what Oda does is have villains win wars but not battles, in a sense. Like they're able to not defeating Luffy, they're able to do a bunch of other shit to fuck up everything. Crocodile was a prime example of that. Like Crocodile didn't really have to defeat Luffy fully for him to get pretty far in his objectives and his goals. So
it's fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
It did cause the collapse of his situation, though.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It'll always end that way. But in theory, Lucci's goal is to get rid of the Vegapunks. So I don't know. He doesn't necessarily have to beat Luffy right now. He just needs to kill Vegapunk. So we'll see. I'll include the username of that creator in post if I remember. I'm sorry if I don't. But yeah, that was a good point. That's all I got to really say about One Piece this week. Very good chapter. It also won the really good chapter of the week poll for the audience.
Certified RGC. Certified
Oh wow.
RGC. Certified RGC.
It was a very close vote this time. We had 10 votes total, and pretty much One Piece won 30% of the vote, where it was divided pretty evenly between the other series. So I think it literally won by one vote. So yeah, if you guys want to cast your vote for your favorite series next week, the poll goes up every Sunday into Monday morning before we record for sure. And it stays up for a while. Twitter usually gives me a time limit, but YouTube, I can keep it up forever, basically. So yeah, do that.